Hey everybody, welcome to the blog and grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for April 1st, 2013. It is April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I'm here on the sports blog with you on the opening day of Major League Baseball. We'll get to some Major League Baseball action later on in the show. Right now I want to get started right now with the Final Four with the Syracuse Orange. They are on to the Final Four, their first appearance in the Final Four since 2003, and really a testament to how good this team can be. This team, of course, struggled down the stretch, not winning many games, losing four out of their last 5 regular season games. They got into the Big East tournament, started figuring out, and Michael Carter-Williams has taken over. Michael Carter-Williams stuffed the stat sheet over the weekend, putting up 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists or so, some steals, and a couple of blocks. And really, Michael Carter-Williams has taken over. He was an East Regional player, an East Regional most valuable player, and he has just taken over. He's really taken this team to another level. But one thing I want to talk about is how the commentators are giving Syracuse absolutely no credit. I want to grill these guys like Charles Barkley, Doug Gottlieb. These guys, of course, Gottlieb did pick him to win the game, but they're saying Syracuse won the game because Marquette shot the ball terribly. Don't get me wrong, Marquette did shoot the ball very poorly in that game, only shooting 22%, and Syracuse didn't really light it up. But the Syracuse defense has just been crippling, averaging 46 points given up in each of the tournament games, with the high being 60 in their first game, or in their second game, and the low being 31 in their first game against Montana. But holding the Marquette Golden Eagles to 39 points is quite an accomplishment with the likes of Vanderblue, Junior Cadogan, and Devontae Gardner. Syracuse now have a tough matchup, of course, in the next round with the Michigan Wolverines matching up with them. First time 2 4 seeds have ever matched up in the NCAA tournament. And on the other end, we have Louisville and Wichita State matching up as well. We'll get more into breakdown of the Final Four games. We'll do that on Friday. So tune back in Friday for a breakdown on the Final Four games that will take place Saturday night. The month of March is over. It's time for our athlete of the month, and really it's a team of the month, and it is, of course, the Miami Heat, who extended that win streak all the way to 27 games before it was snapped. So you are the Doug Sports Blog and Grill athlete of the month, the Miami Heat. But I want to, continuing with the Miami Heat, the discussion has been last night, of course, they played against the Spurs. Chris Bosh was really the only one of the big three that played. LeBron was out with a hamstring injury. Dwayne Wade reportedly out with an ankle injury, and Mario Chalmers out with an ankle injury. And people are calling for them to be fined after earlier in the year, of course, you remember Danny Green, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan were all sent home before playing the Heat. I don't think Spoelstra is really playing a revenge card here, and I don't think they should be fined either, because you just got to think what this team has done for the NBA. That 7-game win streak really wore on the team. It was tough. They played tough teams. They were played every night throughout that win streak. Wade missed a couple towards the end with an actual legitimate injury. And I feel like the Heat need to be rewarded for putting this streak together, giving the NBA good publicity, raising revenue for sure in the NBA. And I think it should be a reward. And I think other teams, they have an 11.5 game lead. A team would normally be resting their players anyways at this point. So I don't think there should be a penalty. I don't think there will be a fine. And I think the Heat really are doing the right thing. They got to rest their players and get ready for the playoffs, because in the long season, the ultimate goal is, of course, to win the NBA title. So that's my take on the Heat and on if they should be fined, as they are the athlete of the month from Doug's Sports Blog and Grill. Continuing on with action here, today was the Yankees and Red Sox opening day. The Yankees opening up with a loss to the Red Sox 8-2. CC Sabathia went 5 innings, giving up 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He really struggled with some of his control. We saw his fastball control a little iffy early on. He couldn't really bury that slider in on the right-handers, and too many walks, really. The Yankees struggled, of course, hitting the ball. Francisco Cervelli 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single that really kind of put the Yankees back into the game in the 4th inning. They were down 4-2 at that point. Jabba Chamberlain struggled for sure. Boone Logan wasn't real great. David Phelps still pretty good. He only gave up 1 run over 2 innings pitched, so not too bad for Jabba right there. But really, CC Sabathia, we saw his changeup working for him early. He was getting good strikeouts on the changeup. Fastball velocity was not there, only getting it up around 91 miles per hour. We'll see that jump up into the 93, 94 range, I think, as the season goes on. So the Yankees lose Game 1. I think it's I think it's kind of scary when your only offensive output comes from Francisco Cervelli, but nonetheless, I think this team is going to be fine. Vernon Wells showed some signs of playing well. Kevin Youkilis hit some balls well. Cano got a single, so I think this team's going to be good. They got to work on, I think, bunting the ball more. There's some chances where I think they could have bunted when they had 2 on, nobody out, to get to better hitters. Even in the 7th, they had 2 on, nobody out. They could have bunted with Nunez, I think, to get the runners to 2nd to 3rd. Then if they walk Cano, you still got the bases loaded with Kevin Youkilis coming up, and he could have drew a walk or even got a good hit. So I think that was a spot maybe where you could have bunted back in the 4th when you had 2 on, nobody out. Just some spots where they got bunt, and Brett Gardner's got to look to steal earlier in the count. Time to go quickly around the Major League's final scores this afternoon. Chicago over Pittsburgh 3-1. Anthony Rizzo a 2-run home run, and Jeff Samardzija going 8 shutout innings. Washington Nationals, Miami Marlins. Nationals win the game 2-0 on 2 solo home runs by Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, the young guy, of course, and Steven Strasburg went 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, no earned, and 3 strikeouts. He only threw 80 pitches, so very economical day for Steven Strasburg. Other action going on right now, Colorado, Milwaukee tied up at 4, bottom of the 10th. Bottom of the 4th in Chavez Ravine, Giants and Dodgers tied up. Also bottom of the 4th in Chicago tied up 0-0. First interleague game of the year, as now the Astros are in the American League. We have top of the 4th at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Angels, Reds tied up at 1 apiece. So that's what we got for the Major League action. Time for another sports update. The New York Knicks update. Knicks have won 8 in a row, and the Knicks are on fire right now. They're tied for the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference right now, and really the emergence of J.R. Smith. He's not taking jump shots anymore. He's taking the ball to the rim. He's taken over 8 free throws a game and taking under 3 three-pointers a game. Anthony also has come back strong from his injury. He had 24 and 10 last night in another blowout victory over the Celtics. They get 2 tough games, though, coming up this week. Tomorrow night, they are taking on the Miami Heat in South Beach, and they travel up to Atlanta for a game Wednesday night. So a tough back-to-back right there. Tyson Chandler, though, could be back tomorrow night. Of course, he has that neck injury. He's missed the last 9 games. He could be back tomorrow night, as we might see a little playoff preview. Coming up the rest of the week on the Sports Blog and Grill, we'll have more of the opening week of baseball. The NBA playoffs continue to take shape as the LA Lakers are trying to get back up into that 8 spot. The Dallas Mavericks are right down there. Big game tomorrow night between the Lakers and the Mavericks. Of course, you can always check me out on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Check me out on jbsmooth84.com. Just wrote an article about the Miami Heat. And if you also want to check me out in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow, I will be on his podcast again, so check me out there. This is Doug saying so long from the Blog and Grill.